Well, happy Saturday, tubers. And I had a surprise come in the mail yesterday from the Pelican, Payne, which I kind of knew the box was coming, of course. I've got to ask for your address to get it first. But this is a thank you vid for Dan, the Pelican man. But I had to open it up, and actually, this is a take two. This is the second time I did this video. The first time, my tripod kept falling over and stuff. And I don't know if this green is going to work out right or not. But he sent me a bunch of his personal nap stuff that he's done, and a few personal finds, and two awesome gifts that he made. But I'm gonna call this vid a YouTube stellarness, all because of this right here. I've mentioned it a few times before, mostly in comments, stuff like that. I guess we could look at some of the stuff he sent. There's a Ulitic blade, but give me a second. You know, this is all unscripted stuff. We ain't movie stars here. We don't read off paper, and a lot of times, sometimes even think about what we're going to say before we say it. We just say what we feel and what comes out of our mind and what comes out of our heart, and that's what you get. Well, at least that's how I am anyways. But, man, I can't ever say enough how awesome it is that every time I see this happen, not just people sending me stuff, you know, or when I send someone something, but anytime someone sends stuff out in the mail. I mean, it's one thing. With YouTube, we've brought the world of sharing to a whole new meaning. You know, first by sharing parts of our lives with what we love to do most, you know. I've looked around on YouTube a little bit, and there's a few other communities, but there ain't no other community like ours. Nothing like the artifact community. And the thing about the artifact community, the world of artifacts, it's always been full of greed. Lots of greed. Always something I've always really distastefully disliked. But that's where the sharing starts to change all that. And that's by sharing where we hunt, what we find, our personal finds. You know, I know some guys, they arrowhead hunt, they don't even want you knowing what they find, even if you're their buddy. And they don't want you talking about them arrowhead hunting. They don't want other people knowing they arrowhead hunt. They don't want people knowing they got arrowheads. That's an awesome glass Dalton. Just some stellar nappings, by the way, Dan. Didn't know you could nap that good, buddy. Check out this glass bottle right here. Made into a little thumb scraper. Well, that is really cool. But it's always... And then, you know, we go from sharing our videos, you know, filming, to sharing like this. Sharing things that we make as gifts for one another, or sharing personal finds. I mean, it brings sharing to a whole new level. There's an awesome point here. Reminds me of a big old hell gap. It's all heavily grout right here. Black. Just solid black. Well, it's got a little shade of gray to it, but mostly solid black. And then I guess this is the same material as this is, and this reminds me more of like a sugar quartz than it looks Ulitic, because it's got all them sparkles and stuff. But and I can't I can't say thank you enough, Dan. You, like Wagon John, that little box I sent him, he said blew me away, I think, 50 times. You blew me away with this box, buddy. Amazing. We ain't even got to the best stuff yet. But this little Smith, that's what I'd call it. Pretty cool. It's got this cool little pocket right there. And another point he made. Some really neat banded material. I always like material like that. It always looks like they just took two different pieces of rock and stuck it together. Got a little red piece of outer core on there. And the reddish, pinkish coming from it. That's really cool. A little like blotch of white on that side. And then this point here, he said he had bought this off eBay. He didn't know about its being authentic or not. Well, I hope you didn't pay much for it, Dan. I like it. I still appreciate it. It's a neat paleo replica, like of a quad point or something. Kind of thick. Some mean material it looked like. I don't know what kind of material it is. But sure is neat, though. Sure is neat. They had these crystals in there. And these are just totally awesome. These are, I mean, awesome. You can definitely, they're full crystals. This is the biggest one here. This is really cool. And then this little one. But the littlest one's the clearest. Super, super cool. I can't say thank you enough, dude. And then he had, oh, he got a commercial. Dang YouTube commercials. And then he had this in there, like a little hammerstone. This will look real good. I got a whole bunch of them over here. Actually, it looked pretty good right there on that little chunk of basalt metate that Wagon John sent me, next to the pedestals and bowl, and then I got my best mano and my little metate and just some other stuff. But then he had all these little personal finds in there, which is just awesome. Got this little point right here. That's some really neat material. Some banded stuff. Then this little point. This thing here is really cool. I mean, it's not broke. It may have like a little spot nicked off of it right there. I guess that'd be its tip. Oops. Oh, this worked over really neat. We got this quartz point here. I always like the stuff like that. It's always cool. And that's what's neat, is to see that y'all get that rust patina on your stuff down there just like we do. I should have showed it on the camera the other day, but when me and Devin were out, he thought it was a raw piece of hematite, but it was a chunk of iron ore, because our ground's just full of it. That's why we get that rust patina on some points. Like this point here's got that rusty looking patina stuff on it. It's a cool little woodland point, or whatever it is. Got this piece of outer core on it. Got a lot of character to it. This is a neat little point here. Got this obtruse tip, this white outer core, and that black material on the inside. That's just neat. Look at the base. The base was left as outer core. I mean, that's just slick. And then it had one of these blunts in there, which I think is always real cool, because y'all always have these really steep face beveled ones like this. And ours is kind of like that Etley I showed in my last digging video, or before last digging video, at the ridge site. And it had this awesome little Madison in there, which I guess out by y'all in Tennessee be a Fort Ancient or something maybe. But man, that thing's just paper thin, And then he really blew me away. Man, I mean, wait till you see these. And he knows, you know what's cool? Is that he knows I love necklaces, so what better gift could you give someone? But he said this was a personal find in a message. Before I made this video, I can't remember what he said it was, but that's super cool. Tied on with sinew. And then the whole necklace is all antique trade beads, all 200 to 300 years old. These are all your round, like glass ones. It's got like a little pink one. Then it goes to the Sandcast trade beads, the Hudson Bay Company. That's what they're called because they're, as if my information is correct, they were brought over by the Hudson Bay Company and traded to the natives. And that's why they call them Hudson Bay Sandcast beads, but they come from Africa. And then it just goes boom, 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 and then it switches up here. We got these little yellow ones, and then ones like this. And then he's got these little barrel-shaped ones in there. And then it comes to the end, and then check out the end. It's made so it stays like that. You just loop it, it fits right over your neck. And then it's got these really cool, like bone pendants at the end of it. This one reminds me of an owl, which is just awesome because I'm an owl fanatic anyways. Got a great big owl tattooed on my back. And got all these other really cool trade beads on here. I mean, just a stellar necklace, man. I mean, awesome. Yep. I think I love it. And then, man, having one necklace in there, boom, he has two of them in there. And on the package, he had this one's for your wife or lady friend or blah blah. But I'm actually single at the time. But this one is so awesome. I'll definitely make sure she's going to be the right one, at least for a decade or two, before I give it away. Because this is awesome. I just love this bonefish. This bonefish is super cool. I have a fish on my key ring. I've been packing around for about 14 years. Well, 12 years, I think. It's got this bone bead on it. It's got the all green Sandcast trade beads with these little bitty clear round ones. Then it goes to these ones right here. Yeah, it's probably not going to focus in good because it's showing much of the background. And then he ends it off with these Sandcast beads here, which are awesome. I always like the ones that's got all the colors in them. Just super, super cool. Super cool, man. Dan, I can't say thank you enough, dude. You rock, man. You rock. One of these days I'll get caught up on my packages and I'll get you one, my friend. And yeah, when he sent this as something to nap on. It said it made me a preform, I guess probably because a few times I've said I've had problems getting them down sometime. But man, I like blades. I'm a blade kind of guy. I mean, I got a whole case of nothing but blades. I'm sure you've seen it. But this is some cool material. I don't know. I may give it a few whacks on it and see how it goes. But I don't know. If I ever do make something of it, I'll make sure I show it. And again, man, I just can't say how much this rocks in our community. I mean, it's one thing to share our hunting and our hunting spots and stuff like that, but it's a whole nother meaning when it comes to this level, man. It really, I I mean, Jonesy said it best too one time. He said he does not understand why the friendship gift package videos don't get the most views. They all should. Really. I mean, one of the most awesome things to go on in our community. I mean, it totally changes everything in the artifact world. Most people don't share in the artifact world. They're stingy. They're stingy about everything. And that is the honest to gosh truth. That's no lie. But there's a large collective number of us looking to try and change that, man. And that's what makes our YouTube community super stellar, man. And everybody in it. And I can never express that enough. But I'll quit my yakking and hope everybody's having an awesome weekend. If you're getting out to hunt, may there be a stellar point in your path, whether it be little or big. And thanks for always coming along, man. Thanks for your views and thanks for your comments. Like I always say, man, it's you guys that rock, literally. And Dan, can't say thank you enough, Pelican man. Just a awesome necklace, dude. I love it. Awesome. Well, we're out of here, man. I'm gonna go look for some shrooms this afternoon. Got some chicken of the woods kind of drying out before I scrape them off and deep fry them up, cut them up. But if I go out today and find some, I might film that and show it, because a couple people, well, Butch said he didn't know there was any other type other than morels, and you got a lot of different types of fall shrooms. We get close to maybe a dozen different types around here, but there's only about half a dozen or less that I like to eat. But we'll get off here. Can't say thank you enough, Dan. You rock, Pelican man. And again, hope everyone has a great weekend. Thanks for always coming along.